The music box arrived on my daughter's 6th birthday. No return address, just a note. For Alice, love, grandmother. The problem is, her grandmother died 3 years ago. It was a chilly autumn morning when the package appeared on our doorstep. The air was crisp, and the leaves had just begun to turn shades of amber and crimson. Alice, with her bright eyes and infectious laughter, was eagerly awaiting her birthday surprises. Little did we know, this particular gift would change everything. The box was wrapped in delicate vintage paper, adorned with intricate floral patterns that seemed almost too beautiful to tear open. Alice's small hands trembled with excitement as she carefully unwrapped the mysterious present. Inside, nestled in a bed of soft velvet fabric, lay an old music box. Its surface was worn, but the craftsmanship was exquisite, with tiny hand-painted details that hinted at a bygone era. As Alice wound the key, a hauntingly beautiful melody filled the room. It was a tune I had never heard before, yet it felt strangely familiar. The note that accompanied the gift was written in elegant cursive handwriting, unmistakably that of her grandmother. But how could this be? Her grandmother had passed away 3 years ago, leaving behind only memories and a few cherished belongings. We were left with more questions than answers. Who had sent the music box? And why now, after all this time? The mystery deepened as we discovered a hidden compartment within the box, containing an old photograph of Alice's grandmother, holding the very same music box, with a cryptic message on the back, for Alice, when the time is right. It was beautiful, an antique walnut box with a ballerina inside. When wound, it played a lullaby I didn't recognize. Alice adored it. She carried it everywhere, even after the smell started. Sweet at first, then rotten, like meat left in the sun. The music box was a gift from her grandmother, a relic from a bygone era. Its intricate carvings and delicate design made it a cherished possession. Alice would spend hours watching the ballerina twirl, lost in the melody that seemed to transport her to another world. The lullaby, though unfamiliar, had a haunting beauty that captivated anyone who heard it. As days turned into weeks, the music box became an inseparable part of Alice's life. She took it to school, to the park, and even to bed. Her friends were fascinated by it, often gathering around to listen to the enchanting tune. But then the changes began. At first, it was just a faint, sweet scent that emanated from the box. It was almost pleasant, like a bouquet of fresh flowers. But as time passed, the smell grew stronger and more pungent. It transformed into a sickly sweet odor, reminiscent of decaying fruit. Alice's parents noticed it too, but she refused to part with the music box. One evening, as Alice wound the box for the umpteenth time, the smell became unbearable. It was no longer just a scent, it was a stench, thick and oppressive, like rotting meat left out in the scorching sun. The once beautiful lullaby now sounded distorted, almost sinister. The ballerina's graceful dance seemed more like a macabre performance. Alice's joy turned to confusion and fear. She couldn't understand what was happening. The music box, her beloved treasure, was changing, and not for the better. The shadow that loomed over it grew darker, as if something malevolent was taking hold. The ominous changes were just beginning, and Alice was caught in their grip. Then the humming began. Not Alice, something deeper, resonating in the walls. I'd find her at dawn, staring at the closet, whispering, "The lady likes your voice, Mama." The pediatrician blamed night terrors. The therapist said imaginary friends. But the security camera footage showed the truth. 2:35 a.m. Alice's bedroom door creaking open, a shadow pooling on the floor, too tall, too thin, reaching for her bed. We burned the music box. That night, the house shook with the sound of 100 instruments tuning. Not music, screams. Alice stood in the hall, her eyes milk-white, conducting the air. "They're here," she giggled softly. "The Bone Orchestra." I found the truth in my mother's diary, buried in the attic. 1954. We had to quiet Ruth. The music in her head, it wasn't natural. Father buried her with the box, said it'd keep her still. As I dusted off the old, weathered cover, a chill ran down my spine. The attic was filled with forgotten memories, cobwebs, and the scent of aged paper. I hesitated before opening the diary, knowing that whatever secrets it held had been hidden for decades. The first entry I read was dated back to 1954, a time long before I was born. My mother's handwriting was neat but hurried, as if she was desperate to get her thoughts down on paper. The entry spoke of Ruth, my aunt, whom I had never met. She was a mystery in our family, rarely spoken of and never seen in photographs. My mother wrote about the strange music Ruth claimed to hear, a haunting melody that no one else could perceive. It drove her to madness, and the family was at a loss for what to do. They tried doctors, priests, and even shamans, but nothing could quiet the music in Ruth's head. Father, in his desperation, turned to an old family heirloom, a music box said to have mystical properties. He believed that by burying Ruth with the box, it would silence the tormenting tunes forever. The diary detailed the night they laid her to rest, the moon casting eerie shadows over the graveyard. My mother's words were filled with sorrow and fear, a haunting testament to the lengths they went to for peace. As I closed the diary, I couldn't shake the feeling that Ruth's story was far from over. The music box, now in my possession, seemed to hum softly as if waiting to be opened. What secrets did it hold? And was Ruth truly at peace? Alice isn't Alice anymore. She sits in her room carving symbols into the walls with her teeth. The lullaby plays non-stop, though the box is ashes. And last night I felt it, a cold hand on my shoulder, skeletal fingers plucking my vocal cords like harp strings. I can't scream.